Falling from the world's tallest skyscraper can send you to an impact speed of 130 kilometers per hour in just 13 seconds, giving you no chance of surviving.
He saw the sign at the cave entrance called the Satan's ball sack. You see, the man was an experienced cave diver with a family and a lot of money.
Whoa, that's so cool!
If a pigeon eats gunpowder, will it lay grenades instead of eggs? This bird usually feeds on worms or seeds found in nature, but feeding it gunpowder will transform its reproductive system into a natural grenade factory. Technically, all you need to do is attach a magazine and a trigger. You should have a 100% functional grenade launcher. If you fired a giant sniper rifle, could you handle the recoil? A normal sniper rifle is generally between 40 and 60 inches long, with 51mm caliber 30 bullets. So if you fired a giant one, you shouldn't be able to handle it, and it would be enough to get pregnant and probably have a happy family. If a flood is coming to your neighborhood, use long pipes with water in your front yard and add more tubes until your entire house is surrounded, making it impossible for water to flow. And as the water rush into the neighborhood, your house will stand still. But don't forget to disconnect the tubes from the sewer tap, because when a Dorito... If you swallow a magnet, most people think it will attract more gold rings to steal them through your stomach. You see, if you swallow several magnets, this can cause dangerous tissue compression and can lead to critical internal organ damage. However, if you swallow a powerful neodymium magnet, your body will turn into a super... Two people would intentionally hide under the Queen's dress before an important speech. You see, when the Queen wanted to pee, one woman would collect it in a cup while the other would drink it. This allowed the Queen to pee without leaving the conversation. But if the Queen needed to fart, one of the two had...
When Pinocchio lies, his nose grows. So what would happen if he said, "My nose is going to grow"? If it didn't grow, it means he was lying, which would cause his nose to grow. But his nose growing would indicate that he was not lying, which means his nose should never have grown. But if Geppetto asks for a lie...
His skull got deformed from breakdancing too much overtime, leaving him a flat, smooth surface. He still wanted to impress girls, even if he was too ugly. So he decided to show some dance tricks, but making a fool of himself. And he was later recruited in the armed forces of the US as a perfect anti-aircraft system for WW3. If your eyes point in different directions, a doctor will make a small incision in your eye, then cut your toenails with a circular saw, and finally give you a nice Brazilian wax under your armpits. This will fix your eyes so that they now point in the same direction, leaving you in excellent health. Always start by matching numbers over colors. This lowers the chances of giving your opponent an easy move. Use a reverse and play a +2. If your opponent also plays a +2, then respond with a +4. But if he also responds with a +4, then play a plus orbital railgun. The bullet was shot and lodged in his chest, but doctors said it was too close to his brain, so they decided to leave it there. He grew up and led a normal life, but at the age of 78, his belly began to grow, so he went to the hospital for tests. He discovered he was pregnant, and 9 months later, he gave birth to a bullet baby. If a cow eats coffee beans, can it make the cappuccino? You see, a cappuccino consists of coffee, milk, foam, and a small sprinkle of cacao powder, and this gives it a nice look. But if you want a next-level cappuccino, you need to let the cow take her time. After that, it will be ready to drink, but never use a strong cup. Start by adding a knob of butter to a cold pan, then crack and add 4 eggs. Turn the heat up to medium, and when the butter has completely melted, start stirring gently, but don't add salt or pepper yet. Now, take the pan off the heat and don't stop mixing. Back on heat, off the heat. Back on heat, stir the off, heat the on. Add the salt, fire the heat. He slammed the money down and asked, "Change these, you dumb used dishwasher?" Fortunately, the poor old lady was almost deaf, so she opened the cash register to take out some $20 bills and said,
"Here they are, honey. Is there anything else I can do for you?"
The man realized he had an extra bill and took a moment to think, "Man, that lady was so nice to me. I can't take the piss out of her."
You're a gangster. You can't let this opportunity slip by. Take the money.
No, I can't. Excuse me, ma'am. I think there's a bill missing. If you bubble wrap the Earth, can you save it from a meteor? A meteor large enough can be several miles in diameter and travel at tens of miles per second. To wrap Earth in bubble wrap, you would need many tons of it. But that's not the only problem. Bubble wrap is too satisfying when popped, so it's practically impossible to The American eel has a secret that no one knows about. You probably know that eels can create a deadly electric shock, but that's not all. Their blood contains a toxic protein if ingested raw. But what not everyone knows is that this fish doesn't even have teeth, even though it's If you jump out of an airplane without a parachute, here's what to do to save your life. First, stay calm and stabilize your body. Second, go to McDonald's and order a Big Mac large menu. Then take your phone, like this video, and finally turn your body around and fart repeatedly to slow your speed. This way you should land soft. Bears intentionally remove their fur to wash it during winter. This happens because snow settles between the hairs and can cool their internal temperature. It is a very old practice. If you stop trimming your fingernails, most people think they will just grow straight and curl over time, but that's actually not true. You see, the accumulation of bacteria and fungi under the nail plate can cause chronic infections that permanently deform your nail bed. And when you're gonna take a shit, you can use them as a scraper. If crushed with a hydraulic press, how much prime could you extract? You see, prime bottles are mainly composed of water, protein, forest, and a small amount of Optimus Prime. So, if you squeeze it, you could get about 11 ounces of juice. And you can use his hairs as a broom to clean your dirt. In 1934, a man was stung by a bee. This caused severe and intense pain. But the bee did not intend to sting the man voluntarily. It just... Police removed her prosthetic legs for a more detailed inspection and told them that they could wait outside. The boy became upset because the old lady could not walk now, but suddenly a police officer had an incredible idea. He removed the legs from it. Imagine you have to defuse a bomb with a blue, red, and green wire. One of these will defuse it, but the other two will make it explode. You choose the blue wire, but when you are about to cut it, a message appears on the bomb screen saying that the blue wire will detonate it. Now you have to choose between the red and green wires. If you think you have a 50-50 chance, you're wrong. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. Maybe double it and give it to the next person. If you shoot samurai armor with a flaming crossbow bolt, it would often bounce off the overlapping lamellae. The armor was constructed with layers of iron and leather, giving it great strength and flexibility. But when flintlock pistols arrived, they were upgraded with heavier iron plating that might stop the relatively slow pistol bullets. However, if you shoot Fujimoto Taro Salmon Nigiri Teriyaki with a M26 Pershing, police arrested him because he was bald and blinded almost all pilots in the sky. You see, he shaved and polished his bald head to make it super smooth, but had a problem because he started balding at a young age and his head grew pointed. So every time he went out of his house, his head was working as a giant mirror. Then one day he found the solution and put on a transparent, ultra-thin latex to prevent the sun deflection. But as went out of the house, he found himself during the American Revolution and fired. The hacker was trying to steal some crypto from a billionaire wallet. He 3D printed the owner's fingerprint using a photo he found online to crack the biometric system. Finally, when the hand was ready to scan, he placed it in.